What is up, guys? Today is going to be all about my third trimester of pregnancy. The third trimester starts at 28 weeks and goes until basically you give birth. And so my third trimester started at the beginning of June and went until September 1st. Because that is when Paisley was born. The third trimester is like when you get like really big. Like my belly grew so much during the third trimester. I felt like I was huge. And like since your belly's so big, it's like everything else in your body is like crammed, and so this is when like things start to get like really hard. Like everyday tasks are like really hard to do. Things like making dinners and grocery shopping and just going for a walk was really hard. For me it was really hard to walk like long distances and like still feel good. Like I did not feel good after walking just a few feet, which was unfortunate. And also because your belly is so big, it got really hard to sleep at night. So I did not get very much sleep at night, and I tried to sleep, but I'm not a side sleeper, and so sleeping on my sides was really hard, and it was really hard to like flip from one side to the other. It was just so hard to get comfortable during my third trimester. And it's also hard to like pick things up off the ground, and like standing up from sitting down is hard. Like Aaron always had to help me up. Another thing is that I felt like I was huge. Like I felt like I was ginormous. Everyone would say that it's like, oh no, you are so small, you're so tiny, but it's like that's the biggest I've ever been in my entire life, and I felt so big. And something that comes with that is that like my feet hurt all the time. Like I would get up in the morning and like instantly my feet hurt, and so it was hard to like be on my feet a lot because it just was painful. I got heartburn a lot during my third trimester, and most of the time it would happen at night, and so there was a few times where I would wake up in the middle of the night and just like so much heartburn, and so I would keep Tums by my bed, and those seemed to help a bit. So in my third trimester I also finished my internship and I was able to graduate with my bachelor's degree, which is awesome. And then I also had my baby shower. So during my third trimester, this is when I started getting like cravings. Like I didn't have very many cravings for my first two trimesters, but my third one I had like weird cravings. One thing I craved all the time was ice. I just like wanted to have ice all the time, and so I would go out and buy ice from like the gas station pretty regularly, and I would also buy slushies from Sonic and like from other places. Like I loved slushies during my third trimester. And then I also loved the feeling of like sand. We live next to a lake that has like sand around it, and so I always wanted to go to that lake so I could like feel the sand with my hands. Like it was a really weird thing that I wanted. And then I also loved the smell of laundry detergent, and I would go out of my way to smell laundry detergent, which is weird. Those are just some like weird cravings or things that I wanted. I also loved the feeling of like brown sugar in my mouth because it like kind of reminded me of sand, but it's like edible. It's like borderline like pica symptoms. Those are just some of the weird things that I like craved and wanted during my third trimester. Once I hit 38 weeks, I started getting like a ton of anxiety, and so I struggled a lot with anxiety during the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy. I just didn't know like when I was gonna give birth, and that gave me like a ton of anxiety. So I had a lot of anxiety during the last 2 weeks of my pregnancy. It didn't help that I wasn't having contractions, and I wasn't having Braxton Hicks, and I wasn't dilating pretty much at all during my last few weeks. So, and I will get more into that in my birth story video. But yeah, during my third trimester I like had hardly any labor symptoms, so that was kind of like confusing for me because I expected that like your body just like naturally does it towards the end of pregnancy, and mine didn't. So it was just hard for me to like figure out what was going on. And then something funny that kind of just happens in the third trimester, like the very end of your pregnancy, your family members, your friends, like people start reaching out and being like, when's the baby coming? Where's the baby? Have you had contractions? Are you dilated? And starts asking you when your baby's gonna come. And like, truth is, like, nobody knows. Nobody knows when your baby's gonna get there, but they still think that they should contact you and ask you when your baby's coming. I think the third trimester was probably my favorite trimester out of all of them, just because like you could visibly tell that I was pregnant, and so like I was treated nicer by a lot of people, or I guess by most people. There were some people that actually were not. But my third trimester, I thought it was just like fun to have a belly. Even though it was huge, it was still fun to have it, and it made me excited to meet my baby. The third trimester was my favorite out of all of them, and also because of all the crazy things that happened during my first two. And thankfully I did not have a ton of swelling during my third trimester. I started gaining more weight like in my face and in like other areas other than my belly, but the majority of the weight was in my belly still. That is something that I forgot to mention about my pregnancies, is that Thor was super clingy during my pregnancy. He like always wanted to be around me, always wanted to be with me. He always wanted to have like his head on my belly. He always wanted to like comfort me. Like he could tell when like things were like not good for me, and he like was the one that comforted me all the time. So he definitely knew that I was pregnant. So that is my third trimester of pregnancy. I will eventually be sharing my birth story. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can watch that video, and make sure you like this video and comment down below. Thanks for watching. Can you say hi? He's shy. Look at that. I think he just wants to get down. Hi. Look. Hi. Yeah, he doesn't want to say hi. Hi. Mwah. You want to get down? Yeah. He just wanted to get down.